Okay, welcome back, folks. Thank you for coming up during your lunch hour. We are now going to proceed to vote on H91. I have reviewed the changes that Katie made. Katie, do you just want to briefly go through them, very briefly?
Happy to. Do you want me to share my screen?
Sure.
Okay.
You can. Anyway, all right.
Okay. Where all the changes are highlighted.
Right.
It's draft 6.1. No changes in the findings section. Legislative intent on line 12. We changed temporary, there was a reference to transitional and temporary shelter. We collapsed those to emergency shelter. You've added and resources after funds in the purpose section. In the definition of at-risk of homelessness, you've added or precariously housed, and before the citation, you've added two. In 2204, we've added a statewide organization serving households that are experiencing or that have experienced domestic or sexual violence. You've broken the paragraphs out to be two paragraphs. Moved the clause pursuant to section 2205 in this subdivision 1. And you've had to renumber C consequently. Change 2206, you've changed grants to agreements. In 2207, there is a phrase at a minimum in the middle of the sentence. We made that to the beginning of a sentence. You've broken the DV section, you've broken into two sentences. So the second sentence starts, the organization shall provide or cause to be provided various shelter and case management services that support households. You've changed the word have to be on line 19. We've added, so this is your language about responsibilities. And now the language reads, have community connections with other providers in the region, including local housing coalitions, housing providers, providers of coordinated entry, and providers of services to individuals who are older Vermonters, individuals who have disabilities, substance use disorder, or a mental health condition, individuals reentering the community after incarceration, individuals transitioning from the care and custody of the Commissioner for Children and Families, and families with children. In subdivision 4, provide plain language communications to households receiving services instead of clients. We've added other community partners in this list at the bottom of page 12. And 2211, develop a regional needs assessment and planning process in collaboration with community and state partners. In the hotel and motel section, to the extent possible, if instead of when, then you have a new subdivision 2, prioritize the use of hotel and motel room agreements over individual per room per night hotel and motel room use, unless it is not appropriate.
It's missing the last couple of words. It's missing not appropriate to a household's needs.
Okay, I think she just shortened it.
Yeah, I know, but I
You want
think
it?
it's important
Mhm.
clarification.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's like not appropriate for anything, whatever.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think it's really important.
Okay. I'm not going to bother highlighting it. So this will be 7.1. Let's see. Okay, same list as before. The appointed to the advisory committee. I'm just going to skip ahead, including representatives of individuals who are older Vermonters, individuals who have disabilities, substance use disorder, or mental health condition, individuals reentering the community after incarceration, individuals transitioning from the care and custody of the Commissioner for Children and Families, and families with children. The addition of and other resources after funding on page 19. Switching this for the. Did I miss one?
No, I'm sorry, never mind. I saw a cross out in my brain went.
And then the end, we've taken out the end of that subsection. So stop sharing and I will resave as draft 7.1 with that change.
Okay. Okay, any questions or comments for Katie? Okay. So I would entertain a motion to approve or what's it? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ann, first. Okay, we have two votes that we have to take.
Correct. First is a straw
First is a straw poll on what?
to amend, to amend.
To amend the bill as
Introduced.
introduced.
Okay.
Okay, so, and then we will vote on the bill as amended, right?
This is, yeah, is
This
this
is a
better than
straw
what we
poll.
started with?
Yeah, so this is a straw poll on the amendment. So all those in favor of the amendment? Straw poll. Okay, all right, so that was 10-0-1. Okay, and now I would entertain a motion to approve version 7.1 of the bill creating the hearth.
I'll move.
And they say we don't have a second, but I like a
All right,
second.
all right,
All
I'll
right,
second.
thank you.
Perfect.
Okay, so, are there any questions or comments before we take a vote?
I want to briefly say that 2 days ago, 2.5 days ago, I actually wrote a note down on one of the copies saying, I'm not going to be able to support this bill because we are not going to be capable of due diligence on some of the complexities. And there isn't going to be time, and I can't in conscience, even if I like the gist of it. I am just amazed and impressed with our chair's guidance and leadership and all of the work of the committee that I think we did achieve it, and we achieved something that will make that interim, not fixing the system, but that interim support for people while we work on the real problem, which is housing, much more effective, better outcomes, and therefore ultimately really saving of resources for all of the traps people fall into, whether it's, this was referenced, law enforcement, emergency rooms and so forth, by having supports in place. So I'm really happy and support the outcome we have here.
Thanks, Ann. And I just wanted to say a couple of things. One, to appreciate everybody's work on this. I particularly want to call out the work that Jubilee and Ann have done over the course of a long period of time, and really sticking with it and making sure that we have the best bill that we can have out of this committee. And personally, I'm really proud of the bill that we are putting forth. It's a transformational moment in state government. And I'm hoping that transformational moment will turn into transformation to help people transform their own lives. And this morning when I was driving in, I ordinarily come across, I think it's Bailey Avenue, but I went and got an iced coffee. And so I was coming up State Street. And so I was coming up because I got here pretty early. The sun was just coming up in the city, and it was shining just on the Golden Dome. And it felt sort of like a sign to me that things were, that this is a place where we can make changes for Vermonters. And I really feel like we are making changes for Vermonters with the approaches that we're talking about in this bill. And recognizing that, we will be looking at an implementation plan in less than a year, but that we really are making transformational changes to state government and helping it be more responsive to the people who need the support. So I appreciate immensely everybody's work on this. And for those people who don't happen to be in the room, and those who are in the room, I appreciate really all of the feedback and input that we have received along the way. It has made for a better bill. And we did receive a lot of feedback. So that's all good. So
And my concern is still the cap, so that's where my stickler is.
yeah,
I still feel that people aren't going to be moving.
You want to
So
see it in
I
statute
want
rather
to see
than
it
a
in
report
statute
back
and not,
that we
so
can-
my no vote will be coming from that.
so the clerk will call the roll.
Representative Bishop,
Yes.
Representative Cole.
Yes.
Representative Donahue,
Yes.
Representative Estes,
Yes.
Representative Garfano.
Yes.
Representative McGuire. Representative McGill.
Yes.
Representative Nielsen.
No.
Representative Noyes. Yes. Representative Steady.
No.
Representative Wood.
Yes.
8, 2, 1.
Okay, that concludes our online stuff, Lori.